All right, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday Night Magic on Speed Gaming 2. We're going to be featuring some standard best of 3 tonight with sideboards, and alongside with me, I have Roguelink. Welcome, Roguelink.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for the hello, Sky.
Absolutely. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Been finally jumping into ladder for standard because I decided to give up on my Rakdos deck and try something that's actually good in the meta.
Ooh, what have you been doing? What have you been doing on that ladder lately?
Mostly Orzhov tokens / aristocrats because someone's got to play aristocrats.
I mean, someone's got to do it. It might as well be you. You're a very, very talented aggro mid player.
Exactly. But it's been fun, you know. Turn 3 Spawns of Mayhem, couple Karkovs to have. I think my record is eight afterlife triggers on the stack at once so far, which is pretty spicy when you're doing that against mono red.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for them chain whirlers.
That's true. At least two chain whirlers back to back, because the first chain whirler spawns all the afterlife creatures.
I would say, though, Orzhov is a very strong selection as of late. I've also been dabbling in Orzhov. On my end, I've been doing Orzhov mid using the Angel package, Resplendent Angels, Lyras, etc. with that, but also mixing in the Spawn of Mayhem, because every now and then I can also get a turn 3 Spawn of Mayhem, which is... I mean, I've seen a lot of people insta-scoop when you drop that on turn 3. It's amazing how much people will be like, nope, I'm getting out of this one, and absolutely in love with Spawn of Mayhem. Also, Seraph of the Scale is a very underplayed card in the format as well.
Yeah, Seraph is very good. Spawn of Mayhem seems to be really interesting to play around, too, because you can end up, especially if you get an afterlife creature on turn 2, you can end up with some really awkward blocks that your opponent isn't expecting, where they'll knock out their creature. Like, you'll play a 1-drop and then a 2-drop, and they'll take out their creature. You'll take out their creature in the block, and then you'll either have 2 creatures that can just get around, because all you need is that 1 damage to get that only 3-drop Spawn of Mayhem, or they end up taking out your afterlife creature, you end up flying in the air, and unless they have a shock in mono red, you're going to be getting in that Spawn of Mayhem, which they can't really deal with unless they have a lava coil.
And even so, too, let's say red takes out Spawn of Mayhem, you end up 2-for-1ing them. It's value every single time when you can put something up of 4 toughness. And I typically do not see red decks main Lava Coil, so that's actually a pretty good idea.
Right.
Oh, yes, speaking of mono red, yes, that is what I have been running on the ladder lately, Saku. I've been doing mono red best of 1. I know that sounds terrible, but it is effective, unfortunately, with the way the current format is. Mono red, always a solid selection right now, does very well in tournaments. If you are very confused as to what to play in standard right now, mono red is always something that you will want to fall back on. And there's so many variants of mono red. That doesn't happen a lot within a format. You can run Frenzy, you can run Chandra, you can run Rekindling Phoenix. Just so many different ways to burn your opponent, which typically I feel doesn't exist in a format. There's the red deck wins, and that's it. Like one construction of it.
There's just so many ways to go straight to the dome in this format.
So speaking of which, I'm interested to see what you all are playing, the community, for this. So I believe for game 1 tonight, I believe we're going to have Seawolf versus Clifford, I believe.
Seems like it. Clifford had some pretty crazy decks last week. I believe it was a bit of a Mardu Heavy Boros sort of feather shenanigans deck. Getting a lot of repeat triggers on 1-drop instants and just getting them right back into your hand.
I haven't seen a ton of that going around lately. Trying to think. I mean, it seems like every time a new thing gets discovered, like Dreadhorde, for instance. Dreadhorde is everywhere right now. It seems like everybody likes to gravitate towards that.
Yeah, Dreadhorde is a very spiky card. The fact that it can essentially double its damage on a turn between some sort of sacrifice effect makes pumps really, really spicy. The turn three kill with Dreadhorde, Colossus, and Thud was definitely floating around for a while. Maybe not so much in the actual matches, but a lot of people knew with some pretty popular Twitch clips going around.
I'm a big fan of Thud. You know, I have no issues with that whatsoever. And what is up with this? Seawolf is running some kind of 4-color jank. I'll call it just preeminently Mr. Ed. I think Seawolf told me that he was working on a horse tribal right now.
But,
so I guess that would mean Diamond Mare, Vine Mare, etc., etc.
But Amonkhet isn't in this format.
Yeah, I had that thought as well. Trust me there. But
like, the biggest horse isn't here. I'm real curious to see how this goes.
Are you saying you don't have a horse in the race?
Well,
that was terrible. I'm sorry.
We've peaked. Everybody go home.
Boo! Cyrus, your favorite horse, you know?
No, I think the hilarious thing, if this is in fact horse tribal, is the fact that big beefy horse from Amonkhet was white, and this is every color but white. And it looks like the game is about to begin.
Actually, one of the best horses here is Plague Mare. We still see that in Seawolf's hand, but dang, the magic gods are not smiling on Seawolf. Well, what is this hand?
Yeah, Plague Mare, pretty spicy. I think all of the mares of that cycle are pretty good.
Is that a Smothering Tithe I am seeing in Clifford's hand? Oh my goodness, Roguelink.
I think Clifford's going to be on life gain.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I'm also really curious to see if that Gideon's Sacrifice has a I can't remember what the card is, but the one where you drop everything from your graveyard into the battlefield. Also, is this a new arena?
Yeah, this came out for the Mythic Champion qualifier. I believe there's a thing you can toggle on your settings as to what type of arena you can use.
Oh, I did not know that.
At least as far as I know, it might be a random one, but I believe on the direct challenge it's this thing. Oh, tournament match. So if you go to the mode, it says tournament match, best of 3, coin flip, traditional standard cards, timer's on. So allegedly, there's some kind of timer going on this screen as well. We might not be able to see it in the current layout, though.
Ooh, Resplendent Angel coming down. One of my favorites in my mono white deck. Really good at just running away with games. Clifford choosing to block, which I can't really blame him since Seawolf doesn't really have much else going on right now. And Clifford's got a handful of gas.
No Seraph of the Scales this turn, though. Could have been a thing.
I'm sure we'll be Resplendent Angel.
Oh, that's a Lyra I'm seeing. You put forth the Lyra. If Lyra's not stopped immediately, just forget it, basically. Lyra is such a power card in this format. First, middle, and last. And even Seawolf's like, no land and a Lyra, no deal.
Yeah, Lyra is pretty hard to handle. You need some sort of really strong exile effect. Because otherwise, if you're going with direct damage, it's at least going to be a 2-for-1, and that's with a Lava Coil.
Now, Seawolf's entire side deck, it looked like, was comprised of artifacts meant for the newest Karn Planeswalker. Pretty neat strategy there. I always enjoyed the Tron-type strats.
Yeah, Tron can get pretty crazy. I had an interesting... before Amonkhet was added to Arena, I had a very interesting Karn deck that was essentially oops all artifacts, where every single every single spell in the deck was gray, and I was trying to have the biggest Dominaria Karn you could get with all of his little robots.
Clifford really thinking a little bit. Now, we can't see much in Clifford's side deck. I do see more Lyra. I see the Wanderer there. I see Mortify. And then I see Finale of Glory. So we'll see what Clifford chooses.
Yeah, curious to see if that Finale is making its way in.
Much better starting hand for Seawolf here. You gotta love the Paradise Druid here as well. Could put up Plague Mare early, could put up big ol' Surge Mare early to block the field, and I'll tell you something, if you're playing anything that's even remotely aggro, Surge Mare is a pain.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Seawolf goes with a turn 3 Surge Mare. Actually, I think that's pretty much Seawolf's only option in terms of the horses right now.
Now I believe Plague Mare can come out with that Swamp, but why not do Vine Mare at this point? Vine Mare is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I believe with that Swamp, Seawolf can play all of the horses in hand.
Yeah, I think Seawolf's going to put up early board presence. Not a bad idea. That Chromatic Lantern, though, I would probably put that up as soon as possible.
It'll definitely help get multiple creatures out. The Lightning Mare will also be able to come out once that Chromatic Lantern hits the field.
I love this match. We're seeing all sorts of things we normally would not see within the meta standard Roguelink. I'm seeing Angel of the Dawn, Divine Arrow. We have all of the horses here as well. Chromatic Lantern, Open the Gates. Except, I guess with Open the Gates, back when people used to play Gates, that was a card. But still, a lot of anti-meta cards here, potentially. Because, again, when someone can't predict what you're playing, that can be a lot of trouble in Standard. So if you play outside the meta, that lovingly term people like to use, Jank, there's some merit to that strategy.
Yeah, rogue decks can be very unpredictable and really catch people off guard. Especially if they're going in line with the meta or trying to counter the meta, but in a way that you can't really predict.
Seawolf not caring about the Wanderer, just going straight to face. I think it's a pretty good play.
Bringing Clifford down to 2 with some spicy, spicy horse aggro. Getting a better look at Clifford's hand, though, it seems like he's on Life Gain Angels.
Yeah, and Angel of Grace is going to save Clifford this turn. So Angel of Grace states, when it hits the field, if your life total were to drop below 0, you do not lose the game. I believe it gives you 1 life or something thereof.
Yeah,
reduce it to 1. Mm-hmm.
Plus, he'll be able to block here, probably the Captain. There we go. And going to 1.
And why not more horses? That's what the field could use.
Now, unfortunately, since Clifford's only at 1, I'm not sure if he can heal enough to get out of this sticky situation.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing here is Seawolf's entire field is programmed, it looks like, almost planned, to get around the Wanderer here because you can't target Vine Mare due to Hexproof. So, the Wanderer pretty much does nothing here.
Going wide with Finale of Glory, that's going to at least stall for a little bit, giving Clifford enough blockers to hold Seawolf off for at least a little longer.
Also, too, don't forget about Angel of Grace's second ability, which is once it's in the graveyard, you pay 6 mana, and your life total goes up by 10.
That's a fair point. If that Angel of Grace can survive just a little bit longer, but unfortunately, I think Clifford has to block with it, and he's tapped out right now. Yeah,
Clifford running out of options right now. However, Revitalize and or Angel of Grace, not bad. Not too shabby right now. Seawolf's starting to get flooded out between artifacts and lands. You know, honestly, I think Finale of Glory was a good call in the sideboard as we saw for Clifford. It was able to help Clifford go wide to block, which was something that he needed.
And Revitalize? Nope. Just
No,
two
Divine Arrow.
Arrows. There we go.
Clean the field.
So that's really going to help. Clifford's going to have the Angels in order to come back from this. And most of Seawolf's hand is spent.
And there's a Kaya, Bane of the Dead. Gotta love that card. Kaya, Bane of the Dead is really good against Seawolf's deck with some of the hexproof from the Bindmare because Kaya, I believe, disables hexproof of any kind. That's its passive ability.
Yeah, being able to get around hexproof is really good in pretty much any format. But that's what happens when you're a 6-drop Planeswalker. Get some pretty spicy tech.
Yeah, and Kaya's even uncommon. Something worth noting from War of the Spark.
Clifford dropping Resplendent Angel again with plenty of mana to pump it and start bringing out the Angels.
So, if Clifford puts down Kaya this turn, then Clifford can proceed to use the Wanderer to get rid of Vinemare, which isn't a sentence you get to say often. The other option is for Clifford to pump Resplendent Angel and swing in with Resplendent and then get an Angel token as well as life, and it looks like that's going to be the decision here. Why not? Seawolf is pretty much tapped out.
Yeah, I really like this play. Not only does it bring Clifford up to 10, but he can start putting more bodies onto the battlefield. And 4/4 Angels aren't exactly the easiest thing to deal with.
I see what Seawolf's going to do here. Get the block with the Angel. I don't know. Do you block that knowing that you can do the Kaya combo? I guess if you want to keep pumping Resplendent Angel, that would be a thing. But I don't know.
Yeah, Resplendent Angel does represent kind of an inevitability at this point. Unless Seawolf has some direct removal, I think Clifford can just slowly take this game over the course of a couple turns. Healing 5 and getting an Angel every turn is pretty spicy.
Or Clifford could also put Shalai out as well for further protection. But Clifford's going for the ability again. Again, Seawolf mostly tapped out. Can't say I blame him. Seawolf able to pay the tithe pretty easily now.
Yeah, Seawolf with all the mana and fixing in the world, unfortunately that's not going to help much against this Legion of Angels that Clifford's going to have here shortly.
Next turn might wrap it up. Maybe Angel in the down here? Maybe? Nope. Clifford says, I want more value out of this card.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I said, the sound of inevitability.
Seawolf getting very land flooded right now with all that mana fixing. All right, and that will do it. GG to Clifford on that match for the Angel deck. I liked a lot of the tech choices there. You had Divine Arrow, you had Angel of the Dawn, and then you couldn't go wrong with some of the classics like Resplendent Angel, for instance, there.
Yeah, that Angel of Grace, right? That brought Clifford to 1.
Yes.
That was a really strong play. I'm surprised that Clifford was able to pull it back, and then once the lifelink was online, it was just a matter of time.
All right, so let's see who is up next.
I believe it's going to be CPU Geek versus Seawolf.
Ooh, I haven't seen CPU Geek play yet. I'm pretty excited for this.
Sounds like it's going to be a no-holds-barred slugfest this time.
I want to see more of Seawolf's deck. Besides the horses, I know we didn't see Diamond Mare yet either, but I want to see what else Seawolf's deck can do. I'm very intrigued by it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if Seawolf has any sort of horse or like type pump spells that all of the horses get benefit from.
I really like the tournament match option.
Yeah, that's really cool that they can just have a real quick, easy way to do what a lot of people are going to be using in tournaments. With the timers and traditional standard cards, so on and so forth.
Plus you get an actual arena. I think the background for that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that background was really cool. I certainly hadn't seen it yet.
But yes, welcome to everybody that has been coming in. This is Team Instant Speed on Speed Gaming 2's Wednesday Night Magic. We feature a variety of formats on Magic Arena, as well as a variety of speedrunners, pro Magic players, and a mix of between the two. Anybody of all skill levels is welcome, so please feel free to join us for the tournament we have going on Saturday as well. More about that later. Well, that's a collection of Magic the Gathering cards. Ooh, I don't know if I would have mulled there. That was a close throw if Seawolf did do it.
Interesting keep here from Seawolf. No white mana makes this very curious.
Now this looks a little more better to me, at least CPU Geek's hand. It's looking like Esper Hero from their side.
Yeah, hard to say. Could be a sort of Esper control shell as well.
Could be. But I also see Thief of Sanity in the main. I'm not sure if Esper control mains it, unless the newer lists do. Seawolf really wanting that double white right now.
Yeah, Resplendent Angel is going to be really nice, but at the very least, any mana is going to get them the Seraph of Scales onto the battlefield.
Now also, here's another card. Elite Guard Mage. What a card right now. This has been going around the pro circuit for the last couple weeks, and a lot of people are ranting and raving about the card lately. Also, Enter the God Eternals seeing a lot of use, Roguelink.
Yeah, Enter the God Eternals just has so much text on it. Just keeps going. It's hard not to get a 3 or 4 for 1 with that crazy card. Ooh, and Seawolf unfortunately getting their Gideon stolen. But at least Seawolf has a blocker for that Thief of Sanity now.
so much value off of Elite Guard Mage. Oh my goodness.
Still not getting that double white for Resplendent Angel, unfortunately. But at least Seawolf can give Seraph Vigilance. And if CPU Geek double blocks here, they can just give it Death Touch as well, knocking out both creatures. Although I don't even think you... Yeah, never mind. You don't even need the Death Touch. Oh, no, you do. Yeah, math.
Nah, that's okay. That's understandable. But yes, Seawolf can take out both creatures now. And I believe Enter the God Eternals cannot target Knight of Grace because Hexproof from Black. So CPU Geek will have to choose one of the tokens instead. So that worked out well for Seawolf.
Yeah, Knight of Grace is... Ooh, that was a Sorin that just went to the bottom.
You say that, but look at what else went to the graveyard. A ton of lands. Seawolf, outside of a white, does not really need more lands right now. So that may have worked out in his favor, all things considered.
That's true. Unfortunately, some of the land milled was in fact white.
Those Knight of Graces, though, are going to give CPU Geek a bit of a tough time if Seawolf can just get over the wall that is the 4/4 zombie army.
Gideon Jura, at your service. I believe in you, friend.
Now let's see what Gideon's going to be triggering.
Probably Indestructible, if I were to take a guess. Because Seawolf here can double block the zombie army, and Seawolf takes no damage because First Strike is a thing. So this might actually be the break Seawolf needed to get back in this game.
Yeah, unfortunately the Vigilance isn't going to be enough.
Oh my gosh, this hand! Roguelike!
The double white just doesn't stop.
It's killing me, and Thought Erasure is probably going to grab the Lyra, sadly. Ah.
Yeah, Lyra, that's definitely what I would grab with any sort of hand attack at this point.
But just dang. Seawolf is one land away from that hand being amazing right now.
My strength.
Specifically one Plains. And those Resplendent Angels have been there for quite some time, too.
CPU Geek probably looking at Seawolf's hand going, yikes. Oh! CPU Geek grabs one of the Resplendent Angels over Lyra. There's the white.
There it is!
Here comes Lyra! Gotta. While they don't have anything else in hand, you gotta do that, Roguelink.
Oh, this is definitely a swing out play Lyra.
Resplendent Angel for okay. I could kind of see that, but oh, and CPU Geek topping one of the most feared planeswalkers of the format. Here comes Teferi. That Resplendent Angel is staying on the board. Okay, CPU Geek wants the card instead. Good choice. Unfortunately, CPU Geek cannot play the card this turn, but that's okay. Doesn't go away. This is in Chandra.
Yeah, the Lyra is definitely going to help the Resplendent Angels start healing, although I probably would have sequenced that the other way around, personally. Lyra first, then when you swing with Lyra, you're going to be getting the benefit of
Seraph's
the
not
life
a bad.
gain.
This is tough. This is tough as to what to choose right now. Seraph or Lyra. Ooh, I like this attack right now.
So not sure why Seawolf is keeping Lyra back. Lyra gives all of your angels +1/+1 in lifelink. So oh, wait a sec. Seawolf might be planning on wiping the board here with Kaya's Wrath. That's why.
Stop
nah,
that.
I don't
Now.
think so.
Enough.
Seawolf is anticipating a wrath of some sort, so giving Seraph of the Scales and using that as an escape hatch might be a pretty good plan as well. Now here's the cool part, Roguelink. If Seawolf can land the Lyra next turn, there we go, I was gonna say, Lyra equals a token next turn because both Seraph and the Resplendent Angel would have had lifelink there. So it would have worked out that way as well.
Yeah, Seawolf was definitely able to just get a ton of value onto the board. One card after the next once that double white was online.
What a wild game one, though. There was just so many twists and turns to that match, and either player could have won. Unfortunately, CPU ran out of gas midway through, and you can't do that when you're playing a control deck. You always have to have some sort of board presence there to stay relevant within the match.
Yeah, once CPU Geek ran out of gas, it was just a matter of Seawolf playing all that good white mid-range value.
So I wonder what CPU Geek decided in. Maybe more God Eternals to handle those Resplendent Angels?
Hard to say. That could definitely help.
Maybe
any
some
sort
more
of-
rats?
More rats could help. Ooh, the Honor Guard. Personally, big fan.
Seawolf,
Completely loses a lot of decks.
I think Seawolf kind of risked it for the biscuit there. That mana base is a little scary right now.
Hey, there we
Hey, there you go. The third lane feels good. However, not completely out of the woods yet.
CPU Geek going for the Hero Precinct 1 first. Probably
Yep,
going to scorn either a creature Seawolf plays or Thought Erasure to just see what they're dealing with.
How about Little Teferi instead? Draw a card. Answer was none of the above. Alright, so Seawolf could cry here. No, I was thinking maybe with CPU Geek being tapped out. Cry is definitely going to be going here if I were to take a guess. Maybe Seraph, but I see Cry being taken out right here.
Yep, there we go. Yeah, Cry would be really good at just completely wiping CPU Geek's turn board presence. But here come the 4-drops, the best part of any mid-range deck.
And isn't Seraph one of the best 4-drops in the format right now?
This isn't a fight you can win. No, I am not.
Little
making this
Teferi
up as I
says go away. Now, if you're in CPU Geek shoes, what do you do? Do you play Sorin next turn and get all the value
I
off
will
of the
have
life gain?
revenge for House Mara.
Or do you play Big
Lady
Tough
should
and
have
now
seen that
bounce
coming.
the Sorin?
The strong.
Hard to say. I'd probably keep up the pressure, play Sorin, and get that, not only get an extra soldier, but get that extra bit of life gain
My
too.
heart is hollow with
Actually,
scorn
yes,
for
because
you.
Sorin hits the other Sorin, and Sorin gets taken out here by the tokens. Yeah.
What a
You called
mess
that one,
I've
right?
made.
Plus that Mortifying Hand is going to be really good against anything. Ooh,
That
that's really good.
draw! Ooh, that's so spicy.
Yeah, Seawolf definitely needed that board wipe.
Unfortunately, it's a shame it wasn't Cry because Hero can be revived from the grave, and now here comes Big Teferi.
No time. I am not going to sit this one out.
Now, I do want to make an observation here, Roguelink. Do you see that CPU Geek is playing a basic swamp instead of all dual lands, like what's on CPU Geek's side of the board right now? Do you know why that is?
Not sure.
A lot of people are running Golgari land destruction right now and punishing people for running nothing but dual lands. Yeah, it is Huey's fault. That's true. Yeah, Huey started doing that, and a lot of people started catching on, going, wait. Everybody's running nothing but dual lands. Let's punish people for doing that.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of fixing in this format right now with 2 or more cards to help get that mana you need. But there are certainly downsides to not running basics.
Also, look at CPU Geek's hand right now. It's so much value. Time Wipe and Enter the God Eternals. Oh my goodness.
It's going to be hard to deal with that giant 4/4 lifelinker. But, fortunately, Seawolf is going to have their own flying 5/5 lifelinker.
Which will probably force CPU Geek to use Teferi's -3 to put Lyra back into the deck. Oh, but 2 Time Wipes now! Oh my. Oh my.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
Oh! This is what's so painful about watching Esper and Esper Hero variants. This is the Esper Hero variant. Is that, you know, you're hanging on to something for dear life and Thought Erasure. Great move here by CPU Geek. Definitely approved. The only bad thing about this is that now Seawolf can play both cards and Thought Erasure doesn't mean anything anymore. Not bad.
Let me lead the charge into darkness. I will lend you my strength.
To be fair, there's no way CPU Geek could have known that Seawolf would have exactly enough mana.
Here comes the Wombo combo. Tyrant Scorn for the bounce, followed by Thought Erasure for the discard, and getting 2 tokens out of that. Again, just massive value in the current situation.
Not only that,
but
preventing Seraph's Afterlife triggers, keeping Seawolf in the game.
I think CPU Geek has this. I mean, you're up by that much life, you have that much board presence, you have cards in hand, just everything seems to be going CPU Geek's way in this match.
Plus, CPU Geek has multiple ways to get the hero back or keep it alive at this point.
Share in my light.
Yeah, Seawolf noticing that Teferi's ultimate is about to go off, and that's pretty much GG once that happens, because every time CPU Geek will draw a card, Seawolf will have to exile a permanent.
The weak I can take it strong.
Let's see what CPU Geek chooses to do next. There we go. Gonna be another Enter the God Eternals. Take out that Paladin before it gets too out of control. Plus getting yet another 4/4 creature onto the battlefield.
Did you see that massive land pocket in Seawolf's deck that CPU Geek just got rid of?
Oh no, I missed it.
It was 3 lands and an Honor Guard. That would have been 4 dead turns pretty much in this situation for Seawolf. Drawing a Spawn of Mayhem now. But not enough. Ultimate about to go off. Could bounce the creature. A lot of bad things could happen there. So now we're 1-1 between these 2 players. I believe Seawolf will be going first in this game 3. If Seawolf can get the Angel combo set up very quickly, Seawolf can run away with the game, but it does depend on the first 7, especially Seawolf's first 7 in particular.
Yeah, the 3-4-5 Angel plays can be pretty spicy. Whether that's Resplendent Angel into Shalaya into Lyra, or any 2 other Angels into Lyra. If you have a Resplendent Angel and a Lyra's on the battlefield, you're gonna be getting extra Angels pretty quick.
Alright, I wonder if CPU can tweak the side deck a little bit more. I want to say yes, because when you're playing Control, I would only imagine you have to tweak between who's going first and who's going second.
Ooh, Seawolf having plenty of mana.
But is it enough?
Hopefully. Nothing till turn 3, but triple dual or triple. Yeah, plenty of mana.
Yes, now the answer is yes. I was worried before the 4th mana. I didn't want to say anything. Now the answer is yes. I'd maybe consider putting Kaya out right now, because what does Honor Guard really do against CPU Geek's deck? I want to say not much.
I heard you had some dead thing. Pack your bags.
I don't think we've seen any. I don't think we've seen any enter the battlefield effects from CPU decks at the moment. Honor Guard, fantastic against things like Chain Whirler or the Explore decks, but right now it's nothing more than a real big defender 1/3.
Yeah, here's what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to see Thief, and then Mortify is going to hit Spawn of Mayhem. CPU Geek's going to get a card off of Seawolf's deck, and it should be interesting to see what that will be.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that dear to you?
CPU Geek getting what I would believe to be, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, this is a pretty textbook hand outside of Thought Erasure for CPU Geek here. Oh, but goes for the Kaya instead.
How dare you?
That's an interesting move right there.
Yeah, I think CPU Geek is worried with the Kaya just starting to run away with things.
I hope you said good for you. Shuffling me off my mortal coil.
But now that the Resplendent Angel's on the battlefield, that Lyra plus Resplendent Angel is going to start doing work.
Going for the Tyrant Scorn over the Time Wipe.
Usually
and still, CPU Geek wants a piece of Kaya, saying, I don't want that around. I think we're going to be seeing a Time Wipe in our near future, especially now with the Lyra on the field. Absolutely.
Yeah, you got to get rid of that Lyra any way you can.
Going with the Guild Mage, or Guard Mage, excuse me, over the Teferi or the Time Wipe. Interesting.
Sorin gonna bring the Angel back, and then Lyra's gonna swing in, getting an Angel either way. So this is gonna start. Seawolf's gonna start running away with this game if CPU Geek's not careful.
Funny, that's what I do.
There's no answer but that.
Was that dear to you? You beat me this time. Bravo.
What a mess I've made. I will defend the weak at every
Those are
opportunity.
cards after all.
Prepare for battle!
Unfortunately, CPU Geek doesn't have any more board wipes in hand, but I'm pretty sure that D-Spark is going to be able to hit quite a few things.
All of those Planeswalkers, though, makes you kind of wish the deck was Mardu and ran Sarkhan, huh? D-Spark for the Planeswalker, okay.
Which makes sense, but that Lyra's going to be coming down soon. But I feel like...
Ooh, that Seraph was good.
Very, very good Seraph.
Am I?
So Roguelink, I know we went a little rubato there for a second with Discord. I wanted to ask you, were you intrigued for the fact that CBUK didn't go for the face to try to get more cards off of Seawolf's deck? With the Thief?
Yeah, I definitely think... I definitely think that going for the face would have been better than going for the Planeswalker here. Especially since CPU Geek has seen the power level of Seawolf's mid-range deck. And that was 2, maybe 3 hits that could have gotten CPU Geek some pretty spicy cards.
And extra cards as well, too. I mean, every card is value, especially in the control matchup. All right, Teferi
Trust
says, "Be gone,
You'll thank me
Gideon.
later."
I don't want you taking
Not
out
so fast.
target permanence right now." I wonder how many cards are in CPU Geeks Exile. Anybody in chat keeping track? Anybody been looking at it? 5. Okay,
5.
thank you. Thank you, Seawolf. It's like he heard me. All right, so you very much probably want to kill the Teferi because again, that is card advantage right there.
This is my favorite.
I don't know if
part
you
of
play
every
Lyra this
exorcism.
turn. But Seawolf goes for it anyway, saying, why the heck not? Alright, you go for that no! Oh, okay. But Teferi is going to survive this turn, and while the life total looks good, I guess, alright, here's my theory, Roguelink. Seawolf is thinking that the guard mage doesn't block anything that's not swinging at Teferi. So now, if the board gets wiped, what happens is Seraph has creates
Let's
2
skip
spirit
to the good
tokens,
part.
and Seawolf can swing for a game. That may have actually been the right decision here. I mean, Seawolf doesn't know what CPU Geek has, but Seawolf's playing the game to win, not to not lose. So I actually do respect this move. It was a tough move to make, but it will turn out to be the right move here. Seawolf going for it, and that's lethal. GG to Seawolf. What a match between these two. GG
There
to both
we
players.
go. Yeah, that was definitely a crazy slugfest back and forth. That could have gone either way with any of those turns.
I wish we could take a look at Seawolf's deck. Do you play Liliana in that deck? Because I feel like that would be a very spicy addition to the deck. I know it costs a lot, but Lily is a powerhouse in this format.
Maybe, but I feel like that might be too expensive for what Seawolf's trying to do in this deck. I feel like Lyra is going to be the only 5-drop, and I'm pretty sure Seraph is going to be the only 4-drop.
So you're getting Seawolf's a little more on the aggro side.
Right. And the only reason I'm thinking that is because my mono-white Angel/Knight deck from the previous standard was pretty similar. My 3 drops were Resplendent Angel, my 4 drops were Shalai, because Seraph wasn't out yet, and it was mono-white, and then Lyra was my only 5-drop. Oh, there we go. So we've got 2 Lyras, 2 Angels. Is this the same deck? No, this is definitely a different deck. I think this is the one from the first game with Clifford.
Ooh, I do like the fact that we get to see Clifford's deck construction here.
The Parhelion's nice. Sarah's Guardian, okay. Lots and lots of angels, that's for sure. Not sure what Clifford's plan is for that Gideon sacrifice, though. Ah, yes, and the infamous Thudless Thud from last week. This is the more feather-heavy Mardu deck. And I'm really curious to see what Saku's going to be playing. Spoilers, it's probably mono-red. But I think this will be a fairly interesting matchup. Clifford is going to have some pretty spicy Mardu aggro value, trying to get those feathers out and trying to get as many 1-drop pump spells as possible. Saku's probably going to go to the dome, but I don't know that for sure. I'm just guessing. Though I believe it was either last week or the week before, Saku was doing some sort of Rakdos brew, kind of similar to the deck that I was rolling with for a little bit.
How about the name of this deck? Thudless Thud. What the heck does that mean?
This is that feather deck that I was talking about earlier. It started out as Thud, that 4-color mess over there, and then turned into feathers somehow.
So wait, Mardu Feather's a thing now?
Clifford's making it a thing.
I'm really excited to see how this plays out.
Yeah, I definitely think this will be interesting, especially depending on what Saku plays. If Saku's going to be doing direct mono red, then Clifford might have a little bit of trouble keeping up.
Yeah, I saw the name of that deck. Chat said mono red labeled dark side. Love it. Yes, it is. It is the one of the many dark sides of standard Magic as of now. Alright, so we will be underway shortly with this match between Clifford and Saku.
Eager to see just what Saku's bringing this time.
I'd be willing to wager it's mono red, but that's just from what I know about Saku.
Some form of red will be involved. There we go. Nice and spicy.
Mono-ish red.
Though, I do see a Dragon Skull Summit there. So
Ooh.
it's definitely Rakdos.
Whose deck is, or whose first hand is more aggressive? I can't tell. Dang. We'll be seeing some fireworks fly really quickly here.
In the more aggressive matchup, I think my money's on Clifford. Or on Saku. Maybe? I don't know. It's a good question.
Well, whatever is coming out for Clifford this turn will probably get shocked.
Yeah, Clifford has all the set pieces needed. Hero Precinct 1 there for value, but I don't think it's key for Clifford's main game plan.
Alright, let's see. Wizard's Lightning to face for light up the stage. Okay. I see what you did there. Saku wants just a little more men, if I were to guess. 2 is kind of hard to run off of it. And I'm guessing Saku's running Spawn of Mayhem.
Ooh, another light up the stage and a skewer, but if Clifford drops a blocker this turn, that might make it a little awkward.
Yeah, it's up to Clifford, but if Clifford wants to pay 2, Footlight Fiend would be a very good candidate here. Yep, Clifford sees right through it, saying, Saku, you're short on mana. Still short on mana.
A second Lava Runner, though, so Saku is going to be able to play at least one of those.
If I were to take a guess, probably light up the stage just because it's always good to have more cards.
Yeah, that would be my guess, too, giving Saku another chance to get a land drop.
Ooh, Saku going for the destruction instead. Interesting.
Makes sense. This is going to be a board wipe here with the Dreadhorde Butcher. I think Saku's thinking that with light up the stage in hand, it's okay to be a bit aggressive here. Plus, Clifford's already down to 11, so the aggro plan is working.
Yeah, the only issue is if Saku doesn't have anything that deals damage next turn, it's going to be rough. Alright, can play Skewer, or Light Up. Probably Light Up here would seem like the more logical play, unless Saku's really afraid of Dreadhorde Butcher, which I can't say I blame her.
Yeah, I think Saku's mostly been focusing on eliminating that board presence, and this kind of feels like a fairly standard Rakdos versus Mono Red sort of game, where Mono Red's going to keep using those burn spells on clearing the board, but Rakdos just keeps getting a little bit of value with those death triggers.
Yeah, and this will be also the third light up the stage that Saku has encountered this game.
So Clifford's getting a lot of aggressive creatures, but no pump spells. but there's no feather, so the amount of value from the pump spells isn't huge currently.
Do you know if this deck plays Chain Whirler, Saku's deck?
I'm not sure if Saku's deck is playing Chain Whirler. Since it's the Rakdos build, the triple red can be kind of awkward to get on turn 3 or 4.
Yeah, I'd be so scared of Chain Whirler if I were in Clifford's shoes right now.
I know I would be less scared since the black came down so early.
Ooh. So do you play that on Legionnaire, or do you play that on the Swiftblade Vindicator to try to get more damage out? This is a tough decision right here. I would have thought maybe to throw down the Legionnaire, but the problem is then you can't sprint then if you do that. So I can understand why Clifford's doing what he's doing.
Alright, holding off on the big plays. Probably just gonna play the Legionnaire. Oh, I didn't realize 10th District Legionnaire came down with haste.
It certainly does. It's one of the things that makes the card so good. And I can understand why Butcher and Legionnaire would be best of friends here, because they're both 2-drops that come down for haste and do amazing things together. So I really like this deck premise off of Clifford so far. Mardu hyper aggro, it looks like right now. I'd love to see the construction of this deck.
It certainly has a lot of value, and it just gets even better with each pump spell you play.
All right, sprint on the Legionnaire. Wow, oh my gosh, all 4 Legionnaires Roguelink.
Yeah, that's gonna get pretty spicy pretty fast. But that is game.
Yeah, Saku flooded towards the end, and that's something you cannot do in an aggressive deck. Alright, so here is Clifford's build. And let's see.
I like that heroic reinforcements. That's pretty nice.
I have a lot of love for the Aurelia. So I suppose the black is in there for Abnormal Endurance, Dreadhorde Butcher. That makes sense with Legionnaire in the deck. Also Feather as well. But
Judith, pretty spicy here in this aggro style deck.
Big fan of the Integrity Intervention in this deck. Ooh, and Mortifies and D-Sparks and Tybalt's in the sideboard. This deck seems like it could be pretty consistent.
Yeah, Mardu has a fairly good control removal package. You get pretty good options, even cheap spells that you can just put in for Mardu or aggro decks. Oh man, I would kind of want to keep this, but I don't think you can.
Oh, I would have kept the first hand. You know me, I'm afraid of flooding. So that first hand would have been perfect for me.
Okay, I guess you gotta keep it. Oof.
Wow.
Big oof.
But Clifford could still be in, and I mean, Saku did draw a lot of lands, so there is a sporting chance still here. But Clifford's gotta draw lands in pronto.
Yeah, a turn 2 Butcher will be nice. Turn 2 Footlight Fiend, slightly less so.
Saku going for the double here, I would think.
Oh, double skewer to the face?
Yeah. But
maybe holding off to see what creatures Clifford plays first.
Mm-hmm. The Pyromancer was a good touch here.
Yeah, Saku not even caring about that Footlight Fiend, just gonna power through straight to the dome.
Footlight Fiend will block here, and then 1 damage to the Pyromancer, killing it. Oh, no, goes directly to that. I guess that makes sense. You're already doing 1 damage to it. Next turn, you can go Butcher, and then you'll have Integrity Intervention, Sure Strike of, and possibly Tajik here. Clifford is not out of this yet, which is saying a lot considering Clifford started at 4 cards.
Yeah, the Butcher's going to be real nice, but unfortunately that Firebrand is going to prevent it from really plowing through for as much damage as it needs to.
I say you push Butcher, and if the Firebrand blocks it, do the damage to the Pyromancer. You get a 2-for-1 off of this card.
That's true. Rakdos is great at clearing out 1-drops, especially with its own 1-drops. Essentially doing the same thing, except Saku starts the chain instead of Clifford here.
Alright, so, I mean, again, folks, this is why you never give up at Magic. I mean, it does stink that Saku is very much flooded right now, but the positive spin on this is this has become a match suddenly, Roguelink.
Yeah, that sprint into Footlight Fiend, pretty good. The Tajik is going to be even spicier with that 3-2 haste coming down, putting a Mentor trigger on Footlight Fiend. So next turn we're going to have at least 2 3/3s cracking in, but unfortunately that shock is going to take care of one of them.
Well, worst case scenario here, Clifford draws another mana and then can play Intervention, and that gains Clifford life should he need it at some point.
Cracking in for 8 here. Suddenly Clifford has a clock.
It's quite a clock.
This isn't game, is it? No, not quite. Very close.
That is a
Down
bold
to
move.
1.
Yeah, if Clifford was at, oh my gosh, what is this? Oh my gosh, Vampire Sovereign.
I was not expecting that.
No, nobody expects
I think the Sure Strike is gonna let Clifford just go around.
Oh yeah, but still, that's a heck of a card to tech in with this deck. I kind of like it.
And that's it.
Dang.
Wow.
But in Saku's defense, she really did flood, and flooding can be a very frustrating aspect to this game.
Yeah, I thought Saku had it there, and then Clifford just, out of nowhere, came back with 2 or 3 very, very powerful turns.
Now, I've seen some people mold a 5 or 4 and auto forfeit. Let this serve as an example to people. Don't do that if you're running especially a low-costed aggro deck.
Yeah, aggro decks can be pretty good at just flooding the board when you're on the back foot. Especially if you're against another aggro deck, or some sort of direct burn strategy.
Well, anyways, GG to both players, especially, again, to Clifford for not giving up despite that mull.
Yeah, you just gotta play to your outs, and then you never know what's gonna happen. If you've got outs in your deck, don't concede. Even if you don't have outs in your deck, don't concede. I like how we've seen a pretty wide variety of decks so far tonight. We've seen some Jank v Jank, we've seen some Spice v Spice.
We haven't seen any meta yet. Not really.
Which is one of my favorite things about Wednesday Night Magic. You tune in to see some real spicy, real weird decks. Sometimes both at the same time.
It is something we have to offer that most channels cannot. You know, you tune into most Magic channels, you see a lot of meta. Every now and then, we get a specially labeled channel or event that says, you know, this is for jank decks. But you truly do, based on the players we do have, you will see jank about 90% of the time here. So if you enjoy jank, you're in the right place.
And it's not even always just jank. It can be super, super spicy jank. We are Rogue Decks are us is Wednesday Night Magic.
A few members of our chat here feel called out. You started it, Seawolf.
Spicy. It's like, I do not simply run jank. I run spicy curry jank. The best jank. Oh man, I should make a mono red deck that's just pure jank and call it spicy curry. Oh man, I've got it. I'll make Big Pig Aggro Red Treasure Ramp.
I've
and
heard
call
of
it pork and call it a pork curry.
Oh goodness. I have heard of a deck like that before. It's called Big Red.
Yeah, I love me some Big Red. I want to brew it so bad, and I have a singleton version of it, but I don't want it, like, a lot of the cards involve rares that I don't have for the treasure generation, that I don't have 4s of already. I don't want to spend that many rare wild cards on something that's rotating out relatively soon.
I mean, that's fair. And I do hear those through the grapevine that the cards that you have purchased or have gotten from older sets, those will not completely disappear in Arena. That's what I've been hearing. So
yeah, I definitely think the Big Red is going to be super spicy in legacy formats, in things like Singleton, all that good stuff. But the standard deck, at least for me, as much as I would love to brew it, I'm about 10 rare wild cards short.
All right, from what I can understand, we're going to be changing commentary hands in a few minutes here. So thank you so much again. This is Skybills and RogueLink. Both can follow us at the commentary links below. And we also both stream retro games and Magic the Gathering, to my knowledge.
And we'll be having Seawolf and Zebra Unicorn taking over for the rest of the night.
So thank you all for having us, RogueLink. It was always wonderful doing commentary with you. Let's do it again soon.
Always a pleasure.
All right, take care, folks.
Hello, everyone. This is Zebra Unicorn, ready to commentate the second half of this exciting night of Magic. I will be being joined shortly by the Seawolf1. Getting ready for our next match, which is going to be between CPU Geek and Uncle Drake 87. Here comes Seawolf now.
He's the Dracula.
Welcome.
You have to knock let me in first. I can't just bust in there. Dracula rules. Alright, so if Geek is playing the same mid-range, or as for heroes you want to call it, and Drake usually plays control or, well, Drakes. So we'll see what pops up.
Ooh, looks like we got Boros Angels.
Now, Boros Angels might not be the feather deck you've seen before, but
Mara
feather shenanigans. Oh, maybe not. Maybe
he's juking us.
Soggy Crassus. We'll find out. Yep, there it is. And the names are Mono Red with Crassus, Steam Heat, the Sauna. Yes, there was a phase for about a week and a half when Second Set came out, and it was like, let's add a Crassus to everything. Let's make a deck just splash blue for Crassus.
So how does so it's mono red. So where is it? Is it just running the duels? Is that just how it's splashing the Simic colors?
Pretty much. The ones I've seen have it's basically a hard red focus, and they count on the card draw from late stage. Maybe Chandra to pull out the lands you need to play. Oh, by the way, turn 6/7. I'm out of gas. Potent quote. By the way, here's a 7/7 crisis.
Nice. All right, looks like we're getting this show on the road.
All right, 2 decks with more class than Horse Tribal. Here we go. Opening hand, we're seeing a little variety here. Main deck Dire Fleet Daredevil and Karn's here.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice curve. We got a pretty good opening hand from CPU Geek. It's pretty much the ideal starter for Esper mid.
Yes.
You got.
We'll see if depending on what Drake plays, will Geek risk the hero on turn 1 with the shock and play, or just go for erasure.
I mean, you probably just play the hero because if they don't have it, it's like really good, and if they shock, it's kind of like you weren't gonna beat the shock anyway. Because if you're thought erasuring them, you're not taking shock, you're taking probably like Karn or something. So it's like always gonna trade.
It's true. I can see also playing Teferi if you get a land drop, playing Teferi and luring out that shock.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of like if you're playing Teferi, you're kind of like getting your value anyway. Like I'm actually like super cool with like playing a Teferi, like bouncing their thing, drawing a card, and then they just shock it. You're just like so far ahead. But he's got to draw the land for that first. Yeah, see, so he didn't shock it, so now he's just like got free value. He gets the thought erasure. He still has to shock it because he can't just like not, and so he's just like is way ahead now. And he gets the surveil, which is like huge. That's like thought erasure is so good.
Yeah, Surveil wants the card draw aspect. Some people say that it slows your tempo down. It does slow your tempo down if you have nothing to hit, but Surveil is a little bonus topping. If you're low on mana, if you need that mana fix, you can try and dig for it.
Yeah, thought erasure is like probably like my favorite card in Standard right now. I feel like every time I cast it, it's just like so good. You just get so much value, and it just smooths your draws.
On the downside, he also sees Dire Fleet Daredevil and says, if I don't play my cards right, I'm going to get thought erasure in 2 turns.
Yeah, you can, yeah, he's just taking the Dire Fleet. Yeah, because he's in a spot where he knows his next play is Chain Whirler, so if he hits his land, he can, like, Oath the Chain Whirler, and then, Thought Erasure next turn, take, like, another card. He basically just needs to hit lands. If he hits lands, he's in really good shape, but, I mean, if he doesn't start drawing lands soon, he's going to fall behind pretty quickly. Like, the way it sits now, he's going to play Karn, and he really doesn't have a great way to deal with Karn. He kind of needed to have curved out.
Yeah, Karn comes in with 5 hit points base, 5 loyalty, so he's hard to kill. Like, damage-wise, you got to really beat him up.
Yeah, you really need to be on the board, or, like, have some kind of way to just kill Karn straight up to deal with it. Like, as the game sits now, he's going to have a real hard time dealing with Karn plussing every turn. He's just, like, dealing with it through damage is just like not an option at this point, especially considering he's missed so many land drops. Like Karn's just gonna sit there and just accrue value now. And oh wow, Phoenix.
Well, unfortunate timing.
Yeah, yeah. Phoenix is gonna be pretty impossible to deal with. Oh yeah, that's a pretty sick reveal from Karn. Yeah,
you had that relief. I have 1 turn to deal with Phoenix. 1 turn to deal with Phoenix. Oh crap! There's a Phoenix on the board now.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for CPU Geek to come back from here because Drake can Phoenix this turn, next turn minus Karn to get the other Phoenix, play their Phoenix, and then he's going to be like, especially in game 1, post board, he could get out of this because he's probably boarding in some amount of D-Sparks, but game 1, it's just like, you just don't have cards in your main deck out of Esper mid to deal with like a Phoenix and a Planeswalker, especially if your mana screwed.
Yeah, 3 mana is nice now, but it's going to be stopgaps. Like, Teferi will bounce 1 Phoenix, and then won't show up. Othakaya will buy you around damage, but doesn't kill the blast. It's a little elemental. And Eternals, same.
Yeah, it's really... This is just Karn's game to win at this point. He's just... All he has to do is just, like, plus it every turn. Oh, yeah. Dire Fleet. Yeah, this is... Probably still plays the Phoenix, I'd say. But, I mean, just Thought Erasure is defensible. There's definitely a value in just, like, you know he's Mana Scrooge just like seeing what's up because you know his hand's all spells, so it's like, you know, what can I possibly lose to it from this point? Just take like their best card.
Yeah, might just lose the Oath of Kai here. Nope. He's worried about the end game. He doesn't want to deal with 4/4 zombie.
Yeah, none of those cards really do anything given the board. Like, if he wants to spend his whole turn killing a Direfleet Daredevil, that's like totally fine with him. It's just he just can't. He can't deploy material quickly enough to keep up with the way the board sits at this point. It's just, you know, the game's gonna go on for, you know, 3 more turns, but I can't imagine. Like, he needs to draw lands as it sits, and the cards in his hand just don't do anything. Teferi's just not a play right now.
Yeah, Teferi's too slow. Kaya is temporary fix at best. Thief of Sanity is a roadblock, and Arthos' cat is taking over the keyboard. Yeah, ideally, I don't think you have main board Cry of the Carnarium in CPU's deck, especially with all the hero being 2/2 itself. Might not have sideboard Carnarium because that might just murder the whole deck.
Yeah, I know some Esper mid lists have sideboarded it. I don't know if CPU Geek does or not. Some people do, some people don't. I mean, it's kind of just like a... That's the thing with Esper mid right now, is it's like the deck where it's like you can build it like 5 different ways, and like your sideboard options change depending on like your main deck configuration. It looks like CPU Geek's playing like the creature heavy version, so I would imagine he probably doesn't have sleepers on his board since he seems like he has too many creatures to like get away from that plan post board. So I'd be surprised if he had Cry. But some people do board it in because there's some matchups where it's like if you play against like aristocrats or something, you just like it's like the best card you can possibly have, so you're cool just like slow playing it. But we'll see, I guess, in post board.
Post board pick might be scary, like you said. His Thief of Sanity is a 2/2, his hero is a 2/2, all the soldiers are 1/1. And once you pop the Carnarium on the soldier, you need to bring it back with Sorin. So you might be seeing more D-Sparks, you might be seeing Omnix's Cruelty, which is a pretty strong spot removal in Exiles.
Oh yeah, that'd be huge in this matchup, absolutely. Great against Phoenix. Just a cleanly 1-for-1s it.
Ashiok's a bit slower play, you have to kill it once to get it in the graveyard, but then you have Ashiok around, you can wipe it out for you. But that's really a long-term play. We're seeing that about turn 8 or 9, and Geek is still, even with Surveil, has only seen 3 land.
Yeah, this is pretty unlucky for him. He definitely should have drawn lands at this point. I feel like if I was Uncle Drake in this spot, I would have just used all of my mana this turn, just play 2 Phoenixes. Like, the Teferi doesn't really do anything once it's at 1. Like, it has the static ability, but that's like not what this game's about at all. CPU Geek's on the back foot. He can't really get fancy with like, you know, getting value off instance. I would just like put a bunch of pressure on the board and, you know, dare him to answer it basically.
You dare him to draw a Plains and a Kaya's Wrath in the same turn.
Yeah, which even then, that doesn't do it, because your Phoenix has just come back. He needs to have, like, 2 things for each Phoenix to, like, get anything to advantage. It's just, he's just... Yeah, so he just bounces the Phoenix, draws a card, but he can just, like, again, you can play a Crassus now. I think I would probably just play the 2 Phoenixes, just because it diversifies your threats. But, I mean, at this point, he's so far ahead, like, he's gonna play the Crassus and draw, like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 cards? It's just like, yeah, he's just going off at this point. Karn's still in play, like...
Yeah, whatever he wants to. But yeah, no, Crassus will eat the Pride of Tyrant Scorn. But to kill that Phoenix, we need to Mortify and Scorn it. We need to spend... No, he's bounced it twice, he's going to spend 2 kill spells on it, and finally get rid of the last thing. He's spent 4 or 5 cards of his deck to try and kill that one Phoenix.
Yep.
Here goes nothing.
One thing he's counting on, though, is not having any haste on that side, so Teferi is slowly building back up to a 3, so we might get more use out of that Teferi. I don't think Drake has any combo abilities, other than he can't expand anything. He can explode pretty good, but he can't expand any spells with Teferi on the field.
That's true. But, you know, get a little bit of explosion in there,
Evil cannot
you can't really complain about
matches.
dealing X damage and drawing X cards.
Explosion's a very viable finisher. It's a pricey start, but it's instant speed is the big deal of it, which normally it's a pretty good deal, but Baby Teferi stops that. So you have to be upfront with your spells with Baby Teferi on the field.
I'm cool with Invoke the Firemind. Just sorcery speed dome you.
Yeah, the old ways of doing it.
So we got he can
That's more like it.
use a Mortify and a Tyrant Score to kill one of the Phoenixes, but still, yeah. Now he's even started making constructs with Karn, so it's just like this game's gonna. Now that he's turned the corner, this game's gonna end pretty quickly, I'd imagine. Let's see, what's he gonna do? He's leading with Tyrant Scorn. Okay, so
I'm not
has he
sure what
used
he's
the
trying.
Teferi yet? Is he used the Teferi yet this turn?
Yes, Teferi went for a +1.
Okay, 'cause I was thinking maybe he's gonna like bounce one, like mortify the other, bounce the token. But if he's already used a fairy, I'm not really sure where he's going with this. Because he's bounce that, kill that, yeah, just comes back and kills the fairy anyway. So maybe a slight misstep on his part. Maybe he like was thinking something else was gonna happen, like he like sequenced it wrong or something.
Yeah, well, choose your poison. You can Bane Fire for a whole bunch. You can swing with the Phoenix. You can make another Karn baby. You can play
Yeah,
Crisis. You can explode.
Probably just attacking him at this point. Yeah, after drawing the Banefire, just end the game. Just send it to the dome. How many we got? What's X? 10? Are we
X5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is viable. Yes.
10? All right. Well, here we go. 10 damages. That explosion.
All right. Let's do
All right.
sideboards.
Yep, on the game too. So what we got? So we probably, let's see.
Sideboard
Probably-
is
Immortal Sun seems nice. If you board out your Karn, you only get 2 Karns. Bring in the Immortal Sun because we know he has the fairy. We could assume he has Sorin because like that's pretty much.
yeah. Drake was
probably-
playing before or watching before my match. He's got Sorin, he's got Teferi. He may have Kaya sideboard as well.
Yeah, so definitely Immortal Sun. That's a nice one. Probably, I would probably bring in some Lava Coils, just like cheaper spot removal, because I feel like the way you would lose this matchup is like if they play an early hero or like Viva Sanity, and you just like don't have like a shock, like that can get out of control really fast. Because I feel like going long, you probably have the advantage.
Yeah, we're seeing if Thief Sanity gets in there and survives for a turn and can steal steal Phoenix themselves, that'd be fantastic. Otherwise, I'm seeing Hotch Taker on the sideboard side, but may not come in, but that can steal a Phoenix for you. But basically having an answer immediately for that hero is a big deal.
Yeah. Local Drake's boarding in Ionize and the War Boss. I'm not a super big fan of Ionize in this matchup, especially on the draw, because it's not coming online until they've already had an opportunity to play 2 and 3 drops. So you can find yourself like on the back foot pretty quickly in this matchup when you're on the draw. Like if they start curving out, like you really need to be answering the stuff they've already played, and it's difficult to do that if you're like trying to hold up Ionize. I feel like it's pretty easy for them to kind of time their spells in a way that make your Ionize pretty bad, but we shall see.
It's true, but a lot of big bombs are 4 drops, 5 drops, so it's definitely a thing.
Yeah. All right, Dire Fleet's not bad. It's on the board quick.
There's Sorin showing up, so Sorin's big shtick in this deck is to bring back the hero over and over again. 'Cause the hero's annoying by himself, makes a lot of friends, and if you happen to kill him, Sorin can bring it back for another ride.
Yeah, Sorin's really good. Do we know if CPU Geek has Deputy of Attention in his
Not
deck?
seeing the sideboard. I only saw the very bottom lip of the sideboard. So I saw Hotch
Yeah.
Taker, a few other blue-black creatures, but I didn't see anything that was blue-white.
Yeah, that card's real good with Sorin. Because like they have to kill it the first time, and then you bring it back a Sorin, and it's just like it's so difficult to beat that combination.
Deputy is
so much.
it's relatively fragile. It's only 3 toughness, so it doesn't hold down the fort too long. But in the right decks, it can really doesn't work. If you're like mid game, end game, and all lightning bolts have been thrown out already, and you get to stop that Phoenix, that's a good way to do it. All right, so again, we're seeing now 3 mana. Drake is now content to sit on that Ionize. Let's see if he goes for the throat with Sorin, or maybe play a guard mage something just to keep things a little spicy.
Yeah, I probably really guard maged here, just like start putting some pressure on. Like he hasn't done anything yet, so you kind of want to, you know, put some pressure on, like force him to react to you. I don't think you want to be like holding up Dovin's veto here, because it's just like you need to close the game out. Like his deck's the deck that is going to win the long game. So I would probably want to try and be more aggressive.
Alright, Drake finds his Phoenix. And Geek is going to ponder now. No counterspells on Geek's side. He can try and bounce it. That's instant speed for Scorn.
Yeah, if Drake just plays a Phoenix here, it's like really bad for him, because Dovin's veto doesn't counter it, and he doesn't actually have an answer to it.
Yeah, Guild Mage can't kill it in one go. Someone's not strong enough, and Scorn can only bounce it. So it's Phoenix is still, yeah. Here's comes Phoenix. It's still a pain in the neck.
I guess he's just gonna bounce it, which is fine. Buy some time, but he's gonna need to find a more permanent answer going forward, because that's gonna ooh. Deputy. There it is. So he does have that. So Deputy is gonna be huge here, because he can play like Sorin this turn, or okay. I was gonna say he could play Sorin, make a token plus, and then next turn, he can go like if he draws a land, he can go like Deputy with the veto back up, make another token, like kill the Phoenix that he was presumably going to cast. He is going with this, but you know.
Yeah, so
he gets a veto to this.
It's gonna be a veto here. That's what Geek's been holding back, trying to save his hero. He's not trying to stop Uncle Drake from doing things. He's trying to save his own hero from random burn spells.
Yeah. Which had he played the Sorin, it would have actually been even better for him, I think, because he would have been able to kill the. He would have got to kill the hero, but then he could just bring it back with Sorin, so he just gets like that Sorin value. Then he just has a Sorin in play. It's pretty good.
Alright, knowing he's got a Phoenix in the hand, so he's waiting for that to come back, but he has no answers in the hand around for the Phoenix, other than the Deputy.
Yep, but he's waited long enough now that he has Ionize, though he does have the veto, so this is actually going to be a pretty good turn for CPU Geek, because he can go Deputy, bait out the Ionize, and then veto the Ionize. So he's going to get 2 tokens off that and be able to Deputy the Phoenix, which is like a pretty big turn.
And given that I have the benefit of seeing both hands, I'm sure that'll be followed by a very large Crass next turn, so it's going to be short-lived for Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's Ionize Resolve.
Interesting.
He still wants to save. He's still afraid of getting his hero shot. He's still afraid of that burn spell on the hero.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why he's like playing so defensively, because now the game's gone on long enough that now Drake's just gonna start casting Crassuses that he can't answer, and he's just gonna get buried under cards. So I don't know. I feel like you really gotta close the game out quickly, because you're not gonna beat the. Because Crassuses tend to travel in packs. Once you cast one, more start to show up, and it doesn't get better.
Yeah, the problem with Crassus is it draws a lot of cards for you, so like you said, they come in packs. Like, you'll find the first Crassus, you'll play it for 5 or 6, you'll pull another buddy out of the deck, next thing you know, you're playing for 6, 7. The third one shows up.
Yeah, they get out of hand pretty fast.
And actually, so both players being very cautious. Drake is still playing a small Crassus in the hopes of getting themselves Ionized still in their grip. So both players playing very daintily. They're respecting their opponent's possible instants and responses.
Yeah, this is easy Ionize.
Geek sadly missed his land drop this turn, so no bonus mana available for veto. Or perhaps they Perhaps he played a shock land on purpose and didn't shock it.
Chain Whirler is a nice draw here. It's gonna take care of all those 1/1s. Just send the team.
Team comes in because you can't block the first striker, you can't block the flyers, you can't block the flyer. So that's 8 damage to the grill.
Yep. And then he's got another Crassus. Probably just play that for 4. Draw 2 cards. Then he's just dead in the air. Right? What does he go do? Yeah, he's just dead 2 different ways in the air. So pretty good shape.
Now Geek does have the draw option of Time Wipe, but then you still have to get a block on the air for the Phoenix.
That's true, yeah. Not really sure why I didn't play the Crassus, considering he doesn't have anything else to do with his mana. I mean, I guess he's bluffing, but, like, bluffing in spots like this is typically pretty bad, because, like, your opponent's at 3 and dead on board, like, they can't play around anything. They're just going to jam whatever spells they have. So,
Maybe less of a bluff than more of a, in case you do have, the Kaya's Wrath, in case you have these things, I still have, answer and refill. Given their playing styles this match, they've both been very, very scared of having their creatures killed in response. They've both been holding on to counter spells, they've both been playing it slow. So I think they're nervous about that. However...
yeah, well, I mean, now you definitely play the Crassus, because, like, if you're playing around things, you definitely just want to, like, wait for that. Like, some day your opponent's going to tap out, or, like, fighter or something, and then you can fireball them at instant speed. Like, you definitely just, like, attack and see what he does. Because, like, if he tries to, like, mortify your guy or something, then you just kill him in response.
Yeah, there's really no way out for Geek in this case. It's going to be damage right to the face.
Yeah, he's got the squeeze on him. Like, he kind of has to act to stay alive, and then the fireball's going to get him. Because, like, we'll see how can he block. He can block the 2 ground creatures. He can chump the Phoenix. Or I guess he can eat the Crassus. Yeah, but he just, like, loses all his guys. Like, he eats the Crassus, but then he loses his 2 ground guys. He takes 4. So he can chump there. So he's just chumping everything. So he loses his board.
The next turn he has the Guild Mage come back from another 3 life and a card draw and a blocker. So if Drake plays to form, he'll be holding on to that explosion until he taps that next turn, but we'll see.
At this point, he doesn't need to play anything, because, like, he's got him dead, like, a bunch of different ways, so the only thing he really loses to is a Wrath. So it's just, like, at this point, there's no reason to commit anything else to the board. He kind of just makes CPU Geek do something, and if he taps out at all, you just kill him on the spot, so you just don't do anything.
Yeah, he's going to play the hero to gain some life and a blocker.
Yeah, if he plays Guard Mage, he's just dead. You just respond and kill him. Yeah. He can even play him around Spell Pierce here, I think, right? So he can go...
Yeah, you can do enough damage without Spell Pierce.
Yeah, so he can just X for 4, and Spell Pierce doesn't even beat him. So he's just deterministically dead. Yep, he's playing around it, as he should. And that's going to be the ball game.
Alright, Uncle Drake 2-0 with Soggy Mono Red.
Yeah, that deck was cool. I've never actually seen that before. Like, I've heard people talk about it, but I've never actually seen it in action. That was kind of neat.
Pretty potent, and with the green mana available, you can sideboard in like a status statue and like have that extra, oh by the way, Chain Whirler kill your boards combo. You do a lot of weird things with the extra colors available.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Plus, if you're really like afraid of spells, like you can sideboard in your blue spells, some 1 blue counter spells, like just throw some oddball Kingston work, or
Yeah,
sideboard in Ral. Okay, fine, I'll do Ral combo instead, and then just infinite expansion myself until you die.
Oh yeah, that's a thing you can do. Yeah, yeah. I guess you could do a lot of goofy things.
Yeah, in this format now, with all the color sources of mana available to you, between the lantern, all the dual lands, all the crazy stuff, interplanar beacon. You can do a lot of dumb 3-color decks, 4-color decks, and get away with it because you have access to that mana, which makes your sideboarding options tremendous.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird decks going around lately. like really stretching.
Or
Yeah,
Cyber
definitely.
Cyber
What you can
Morale.
get away
I'll
with
do
in terms
Morale
of
combos
colors.
instead, and just infinite expansion myself until you die.
Lots of 4 color decks.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing you can do. Yeah.
Splashing tons
Yeah, I
of
guess, like,
planeswalkers
I
off
guess you
and
can do a lot
your
of
beacon.
things.
It's like what's called the land.
Yep,
Yeah,
and the
there's
Planar
cool
Beacon
magic
now
play card.
gives you 2 mana, different colors, but only for Planeswalkers.
Yep, which if you're only playing planeswalkers works out pretty well.
It's not really silly until you play 2 in 1 turn, gain 4 life, then yeah, just like, oh, now Teferi and Vraska and plus 4 health, and now what?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's like really stretching.
Or
Yeah,
Cyber
definitely.
Alright,
Or
so up
Cyber
next we
Morale.
have Drake and Clifford. So Clifford, known for playing aggro Rakdos, aggro aristocrats, and we'll see Drake holds on to the Soggy Crassus.
All right, let's see if Clifford can win another match tonight. I saw the tail end of his match against Saku. That was wild.
Yeah, so Clifford previously had a mulligan out of 5, and was actually done well for about 3 turns, no land draws. But the deck was so cheap, he could start playing buff creatures, and then Tactic showed up and started buffing the creature on the field already. And then it got to the point where it's just Saku had to draw 2 burn spells a turn to keep up. It just wasn't happening. Oop, Drake changing gears. Rakdos Aristocrats.
Oh man, we're gonna have an aristocrat's mirror.
It's gonna be a tea party. The tea's all blood.
Ew.
Remember, aristocrats, they all have fangs. They smile at you and kindly. You can bear fangs and be polite in the process. Don't get involved in courtly life. It's dangerous. I didn't even mention. Let's see. Do I have the power in this chat to do the challenge? This weekend is our first first event, the Instant Speed Summer Challenge. Going in, it's a $10 entry fee on matcherino.com. You can see the information in the chat there. And we got prize top 16, sizable prize pool. Add the pool for free with a few side challenges. You can add the pool directly with your money if you wish. And come on down. We have, I think, 18 heads so far. The more the merrier. I'll be there, so look forward to seeing my stupid jank decks and farming with some money. Come on down.
If I will also be there playing. We'll see what happens.
I was looking forward to it. It's a 2-day event. You have the first day, and then the following day will be any qualifiers. You need to go further. It'll be interesting. But it's the first event coming through. We'll have commentary. We'll have on the channels being watched. It'll be very interesting. A good taste of the professional kind of tournament feel.
All right. Well, we got a game, so I'm assuming Drake will be mulliganing this, since I'm assuming his deck can do better than 6 lands, 1 creature. All right, this is a real hand.
Clifford does the opposite, with only 1 land and a handful of creatures.
Yeah, Clifford's hand is sketchy. Is he on the draw? He's on the
Clifford
draw, I
keeps.
believe.
He's on the play.
Okay.
He's holding
the
1
play?
land. But
I don't know about that.
the rest of his sanity. He's playing this deck anyway. Here we go.
He's like really got to draw a second land like now. All
There it
right,
is.
whatever. I guess I'm an idiot. Clifford's a genius. Now he's in good shape. That 10th District Legionnaire is a nice card. It's 2/2 with haste, and when it becomes a target of a spell, it gets a +1/+1 counter. You scry one. It's pretty sick. Gets out of control pretty fast in decks that are trying to do old school kind of heroic things.
True. If you show Feather on the board and get your spells coming back every turn, or Arcanist and doing it twice per turn, yeah, I think it becomes a 3/3/4/4 that before you blink, it's a 4/4 monster coming at you with haste. Plus whatever buff spells are attached to it.
Yeah, it gets out of control really fast, especially with Feather. It's like Feather's like the first time you see that card go off, it's like, oh my god, what the hell? With like Defiant Strike.
Yeah, it's surprising. There's a lot of cards that give the pumps, like those cards, the Warlord Strike, all that stuff there. They basically give you, they cantrip and they buff you. So you're getting card draw and card recycling. So your hand's always full. It's really obnoxious.
Yeah, you just like never run out of gas.
All right, you guess both sides playing Judge Judy. Let's see. Drake pondering, do I kill G before something dumb happens, or do I play my own and make them respond to me? And so both players are kind of dancing around, you know, who's more important?
Yeah, you probably need to kill his Judith. Like, it's kind of weird in matchups like this, because whoever has like the initiative, you kind of have to react to them. Because if you play your own Judith and he just like has a shock or something, you're just like so far behind. It's just like the nightmare scenario is you both tap out, but they get to untap first, and they just like trade up on mana with you and like play something else. Like basically the way you lose these type of mirrors is like if you get 2 spelled first, you're just like screwed.
Alright, Clifford opts to play the rulebook instead of the 10th District Legionnaire. And Drake finds another Judith.
Judith is going to match up well against Swiftblade Vindicator.
Not really. They will both kill each other, but Clifford has tricks in hand. Ooh, there's a nasty trick too. There's Tajik. Chris playing an interesting field here. If Judith blocks, the 10th Legionnaire is getting pumped up. If it does not block, the other one's getting pumped up as well. If they both don't block, might pump up anyway, because who cares?
There's a risky block. Because you kind of have to assume that he has a trick if he's attacking like that, and
yeah, assume that 2/2 is probably a 5/5 or a 6/6.
Yeah. So yeah, he trades, but now he doesn't get good value off of his Judith, which is like awkward. He's got the Edict though, so he gets to reset the board, which is good. But Tajik's gonna bring the pain.
Yeah, so in the back end is a clever play. Because even though he buffed the weaker creature, quote unquote, that prevented the trade-off of Judith and killing that thing anyway. Basically, Judith was dying regardless. It stopped Judith from killing the 1/1 Swiftblade.
Yeah.
Ended up not mattering, but you know, on paper, better play.
That's gonna be game.
Here comes death.
Yeah. His pumps which Darwin doesn't block. Yeah.
Alright, so Drake's gonna has Duress not as useful as usual, but in this deck where pump spells are so important, Duress might be the worst in the world. Craving for damage life back, Contempt, I don't care how big you are, you die.
Yeah, so I like the... What has he got? I like the Moment of Cravings. Those are great. Massacre Girl seems awesome. Boarding out the Rampages seems good. Basically just like the Edicts are kind of weak because there's probably going to be flooding the board. Yeah, I kind of like... He seems like he has kind of this like plan where he can like go big post-board, which I kind of like. He's got... How many lands does he have? Yeah, so he's got enough lands that he can probably like board into a mid-rangey deck, which is like seems to be what he did, and I like really like that. Just try it because
yeah, a little more beef and a lot more removal. So a lot of the not the Edicts, he has more aim removal. He has the 4 Cravings to put in there, so now all his removal is targeted. It's not your choice; it's my choice.
yeah, this opening hand's great. Like Footlight Fiend seems like awesome against Clifford's deck. He has a lot of like X1s that want to be buffed, and yeah, like Dreadboard Butcher is just like awful versus Footlight Fiend. You just like block all day.
Alright, Cliff has the goods though. Cliff has the full gas. He has Dread Horde, he has Endurance, he has Recursion, he has Integrity. And Drake has a lot of small ping things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Drake's gonna need to draw like some kind of like mid-rangey thing. But he's definitely not gonna die anytime soon. He can block pretty effectively. He's got Moment of Cravings for any important threats.
Like say a Dread Horde Butcher.
Yeah, like right here is great.
Yeah, unfortunately, if he blocked the Butcher, his board would have been wiped and you had no creatures. And then you have no creatures and a hand against Clifford who's got on the play, he has more cards than you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Drake's gonna need to draw some kind of, you know, over-the-top threat, but as it stands, he's like not in terrible shape. Yeah, so you can play the Edict him. He's gonna get one of his Footlight Fiends, and then he can play Artist. get in for some damage. Yeah, so this isn't going too bad. Clifford's gonna get to play another creature, but he's got the moment for that.
The problem is Drake's on his back foot now with 1 card left. He can stop 1 more threat. They better start drawing more now, because Clifford's hand is full of beats.
Yeah. Okay, so that works out pretty well for Clifford. So if I was Drake here, what I would do is I would sack the Footlight Fiend. Yeah, he's doing it. So sack the Footlight Fiend to deal the damage, because you know you're momenting the Judith. So he's just going to kill your Footlight anyway, so you might as well just get the damage off of it. So I really like that play.
Unfortunately, the Mayhem Devil shows up at just the wrong time.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of fine with that. I mean, you just kill Judith, get in, put him at 4, then next turn you can play the Devil, and he's in like a really bad spot.
That was only 1 damage too, it was a shame. If it was 2 damage from the sacrifice, you could play Devil and sit there and wait for your next upkeep. And make Clifford have to play your Fireblade.
Yeah.
And now we're going to see a probably 6/6, 10, maybe even bigger 10th Legionnaire coming in. Oh no!
That's the Lightning Helix. Okay.
Straight up kills. Fair price Lightning Helix, by the way. That's a fair price. 2 mana back in the day when I started playing it was stupid. 4 mana, right on target.
All right, so Clifford might be getting back into this. He can play 2 10th District Legionnaires if he wants, and the board is pretty stabilized as long as Drake doesn't draw anything great on his turn.
I'm moving a Legionnaire. Ooh, I'm surprised.
Ooh.
I figured there'd be Endurance, but I may get saved the creature.
All right, so I like this play by Drake. He's going to attack first to make Clifford, see if Clifford will block and try and pump his guy, and then he can respond by craving it, and that's just going to be like a huge blowout.
Yeah, it sounds crazy, but it's your turn. You have priority, so you have to give it up to make them react, and then you get it back. So long as it's your turn, you can keep when you play a spell to expand yourself. You have to do it all in sequence, and then you give them the chance to respond to you. But when they respond back to you, you have a chance to get your priority back. And bluffing the last land. Oh, here's trouble.
Yep. Ooh. Okay. So let's see. Is he just gonna attack with both? Yeah, getting in there.
Yeah, there's gonna be a board wipe coming up. And after I decide, do I kill that and lose my devil? Yeah, I guess you have to.
I think I might have actually just like domed Clifford there, just to because the Dreadhorde Butcher doesn't stay at like a 3/2, so it doesn't actually being online. Ooh, Widespread Brutality is good.
Interesting.
But he's gonna be able to integrity it to save it.
But you have to make them. You're both out of gas. You're both the difference you got 20 more life than I do.
Oh.
Like I'm trying to. Wow.
I assume that was a misclick because.
What's about an intervention in the creature and get a life as well?
Yeah, but he would have had a 3/3, so 2/2 would have been doing anything. I had to assume that was he just clicked through that accidentally.
Maybe. It's just hard to say.
So that's gonna be a good one. just 4/4 menace when you're top decking is just totally fine in this matchup.
And normally you want to save it for a big kill, but no, until you draw 2 creatures in 1 turn, which you can't do. It should be a problem.
Yeah, and I imagine, unless Clifford board didn't Lava Coils or something, which he could have. He definitely have Lava Coils in his deck post board, but if he does it, killing a 4/4 is gonna, and he can't block it because it has Menace. He's not gonna draw 2 creatures this turn. So
and Drake draws the instant speed, sacrifice engine.
Yeah,
so Edict is in hand.
Not gonna do it. Edict him to show him who's boss. Send a message.
Clifford, I was saying, Clifford Fashion will probably eat himself and hit himself with the blast. Because Clifford does that. Around the game 3. Alright, so both these decks want to. They love to be on the play. Because they are fast, they are aggro, they are in your face. They want you at 10 life by turn 4. They want you scrambling for answers. But the funny part is they both have so many answers and damage back and forth. It ends up becoming a mid-range game because you can survive turn 5-6 because you're killing the board constantly.
Yeah, definitely. Mirrors like this, like traditionally mono red mirrors, are once you learn how they work, you realize that they're post board. They're just like weirdo like mid-range control mirrors because you're basically just like 1-for-1ing each other constantly until one person has something left standing. Mono red in Constructed is one of the few decks in the history of standard formats where it's been correct to draw in mirrors sometimes because it's so grindy.
You want the extra gas. That one extra card might be what you need to get that last.
Yeah, because it usually comes down to like you're both empty-handed and one of you has a 2/2, and then the other person just draws a land, and then the game's over because it just snowballs from there like so quickly.
All right, both players have brought in spicy tech. I see Hero on Clifford's side, and I see Captain Larry Storm on Drake's side.
That's sweet. The hero is going to be huge in a matchup like this because, like I said, it's like it usually comes down to like the last creature standing, and if you have a creature that makes more creatures, that is real nice.
I'd be afraid to play it turn 2 naked because all the kill spells, all the burns format. I'd be afraid to play that hero by itself.
Yeah, I would definitely be trying to play it with some kind of like integrity backup because it covers you.
Clifford has no touch fear.
Yeah, because it covers you from the Edict because you can make a token response, and it also covers you from Omen because it's a pump spell. So I think you would have been better off slow playing it and just trying to get max value out of that hero.
All right, next turn I'm sure Lanner's gonna eat a intervention next turn because Lanner is a terror to keep out. No mana ramping, and oh by the way, if you happen to let her through with 3 or 4 treasures on the side, I'll just do 7 damage to you, or I'll do 5, 6, 7 damage to you if you weren't looking.
So Mayhem Devil, is it whenever a player sacrifices a creature or a permanent?
A permanent. So any sacrifice, Mayhem Devil does one to whoever wants to.
So treasures are real nice then with Devil then.
Yeah, treasures are really dumb. Costly Plunder is really stupid. Yeah, it gets out of hand in a hurry.
Yeah, I just noticed that. I was like, ooh, combo.
Yeah.
Captain Lannery Storm and Mayhem Devil is a thing.
So on paper, you might want to kill the Devil with the bigger threat on paper, but Lannery's going to keep making more of that threat.
Yeah, this is like two must-answer threats, and he's kind of in an awkward spot. So it's like, when do you intervention here?
And also
he's got to intervention something.
Also unknown to him, there's a Costly Plunder in hand, so whoever's going to get killed is going to be killed for sacrifice, ping him, and gain life back. You get more cards.
Yeah, this is going to be a blowout. Yeah, so he's just going to be able to Costly Plunder in response. So not only does he get the trigger, but Clifford's not going to gain the 3 life. This is a sick turn.
Your treasure, pumps Lannery. Not really important. Does it again. Does it on purpose.
Yep, Costly Plunder. Yep, wow. This is sick.
That's a third.
We are going off. Oh yeah, that's that's good.
And the Fireblade shows up for the party. He's gonna eat that Footlight Fiend in 2 turns.
All right, well, we got a hero. Fortunately, we don't have any multicolored spells. It's kind of a bummer, but
you don't want to play the hero, but you have
do.
to. Yeah, now you have to play the hero.
Yep,
You don't want to, but
exactly.
you have to. You can't block the Footlight Fiends, the hero will die. You can't block the Man Devils, the hero will die. You can't do all these things. You hopefully block and do some, but then it's going to, at least the Fiend's not being sacrificed. So if it dies, it's not being sacrificed.
Yeah, he's just again just like attack with everything, make Clifford react. He can respond with moment. It's just gonna get him again in combat. Yep, just moment response. He doesn't get the scry or anything. You get his hero. Clifford's gonna draw something. Oh, another hero. All right, so
Hero's back.
still alive.
Trying to sacrifice the Fiend and kill the hero.
Yep.
I mean, I would.
Yeah, it seems like the play.
Nope. Which is fair though. Any more buff spells would save the hero, and we go through.
Yeah, you know, you're fine just, especially with given how far ahead you are, I think you're fine just jamming with everything and just seeing what happens. Because if he has nothing, you're just gonna win anyway.
Yeah, same problem here where Drake was on the draw and had a little more gas there, and Clifford's answers were being responded to. So Drake had the advantage of the first draw, more fuel, and I go first, so my lands stay untapped faster than yours, so I can react to you.
Yeah. And the issue that's being well illustrated here is like why I like, if you have the option boarding into like a more mid-rangey deck post-board, is that you get into like these attrition wars and then like so quickly like a bunch of your cards just get like completely outmoded. Like you can't be drawing Footlight Fiends on turn 7 when you're behind. It's just like a card with no text basically. You're just like, ah, sweet, a 1/1. You know?
Pretty much, pretty much.
But yeah, Uncle Drake takes that one against Clifford. He got the looks like the superior sideboard plan. He just had all the removal for all Clifford's guys, and Clifford can never really get on the board.
Just keep that in mind. You don't want to build your sideboard just for mirror matches, but if you have a mirror match coming, play to their strengths. Make
so
them
quickly, like a bunch of
keep
cards
moving
just
their board,
get like
keep gaining life, gain value. Cost of Plunder in a sacrifice deck is crazy good for value. Leonard Storm coming in, making more mana for you. Like,
one.
you drop the haste, so she comes in and starts punching and starts giving you more.
Yeah, Uncle Drake takes that one.
Red ramp, which is insane.
Against Clifford. Yeah, Larry Storm's a card that no one really ever got to work, but is just like a super cool card. Like, I always kind of wish that someone would figure it out in a deck. Like, there were a couple decks with it running around last standard format, but like nothing really took off with it.
It's hard with War, but I definitely had it in my my pre-war. I had the Angrath deck, and she ramped really good. She's Pirates, survives fiery cannonade, so I'd run her with cannonade removal, and just like she just doesn't care and just keep going.
Yeah, that's cool.
Alrighty, so I do believe we're out of matches. I think we have one more coming up. I do next week is Pauper format, so we're having our tournament this weekend for sure. Next week we're playing Pauper. So there's a setting on thing for making decks in Pauper, which is all commons. So bring your Pauper deck next week. We'll have fun with cards that are not rares. If you're tired of Krasis, now's your chance. Planeswalkers, ain't gonna see them. Bring your best basic Pauper deck.
Yes, no Planeswalkers is nice.
In my day, we didn't have Planeswalkers. The book said itself, they're too powerful to put on cards. Blah, 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 blah. I remember distinctly years ago, I was playing 4th edition, and had every deck had a rulebook in it. And in the back, it's like, we will never print a Planeswalker card, they are far too powerful. Well, that changed.
And shocking, they're far too powerful.
I think. But that's good, though. It's a good certain format. Again, Magic survives by, new effects, new interactions, new kinds of cards. Planeswalkers may come and go later on. We'll see if they phase out over time. These walkers are going to be around for a while, though, so get used to them. You're seeing for at least another year. Let's see here. Do we have more matches? I'm curious. Hey, takers in my Discord here. Alright, it appears we are set. Alright then. I believe we officially have no more matches, so hope you enjoyed the showings today. Some jank, some standard stuff, and no meta. Everyone's hiding the meta decks. They don't want to play their weekend decks for the tournament. They're all hiding their secret tech.
Yeah, there was a lot of fun matches tonight. I actually really enjoyed a bunch of these matches. We didn't really have any non-games or anything. It was I feel like every match had at least a couple pretty interesting competitive games. So that's always good to see.
All right, folks. Thank you for coming out. Again, next week will be on Wednesday for Pauper format. So you'll see a lot more variety, a lot more interesting plays. And on Seawolf 1, Zebra Unicorn helped me out again. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
And I advise you to, watch or join. Come on this weekend for that tournament. Feel free to join it. $10. Come on in. Play a good long Swiss tournament. Get your games in. See a lot of new faces. And come on down, watch the show, be in the show, do what you want to do with it.
Yep, should be a good time. I definitely encourage everyone to try it out if you can.
Alrighty, so I bid you all adieu. And yeah, we'll see where we go to from here.
All right. That'll do it for us. Have a nice night, everybody. Thanks for watching.